How much money do college professors make? Let's talk about it today in this episode of Navigating Academia. What's up, Navigating Academia family? This is your buddy and personal academic mentor, Dr. Phoenix Singh, coming at you to be able to discuss an important question for any of us getting into any career field, which is how much money am I going to make, right? In this case, we're going to be talking about how much do college professors make. I can tell you that it's a common misconception, and I had it myself, that all college professors are wealthy and that they make a lot of money. They're all making six figures in terms of US dollars, but the reality is a lot more complex than that, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. Okay, so as you may already know, there are two main types of college professors. They're tenure track professors, and there are also lecturers. Sometimes we end up referring to these individuals as adjunct faculty. Think about them kind of like part-time professors. Okay, and their salaries can vary greatly across. Are they at an R1 university? Usually these are the ones, let's say in the States, where you know the name. Right? You hear Princeton, you hear Stanford, you hear a state university, like I'm in Virginia, University of Virginia. These are R1 universities, and they range all the way to R3 universities, which are kind of usually small private institutions in many cases, and still they can be amazing schools. Most of the money that they end up getting paid in terms of the professors doesn't come from grants, though. Very rarely do these universities have well-established offices of sponsored research that would be able to facilitate in this grant writing, grant management process. And because of that, the likelihood that there's going to be higher professorial salaries ends up decreasing substantially, all right? So let's go ahead and talk about tenure track professors. Keep in mind that over 3/4 of all new faculty positions opening up are not tenure track positions. There's a lot of reasons for this. Remember to always follow the money. I always say that on this channel, right? If you haven't subscribed already, be sure to subscribe to the channel. We put out new content like this on the weekly, right? And we've got a huge library of previous episodes that would love for you to be able to check out. So, tenure track professors, to be able to get those jobs, extremely difficult. If you want to learn step by step how to be able to actually search out these jobs, develop all of your materials like your teaching pedagogy statement and your CV and your student evals and your dossier, right, in terms of your e-portfolio to apply, check out publicationacademy.com down here below. Become a monthly member. Check it out. I think you'll love it. All right. So, like I said, though, let's start with these tenure track professors, even though it's pretty rare, right, to be able to get these jobs these days. These are professors who are on the track to achieve tenure, which is essentially a permanent position at a university. We've talked already in other videos about how it doesn't necessarily mean you're safe in this day and age, but it definitely increases the likelihood that you are. All right. Usually these individuals have a doctorate. They've completed several years of research and teaching, and they're also heavily involved with university committees, administrative work. Now, right now, at the time of making this video, on average, tenure track professors make anywhere between, yes, $70,000 all the way up to $120,000 a year, but this varies greatly on the university, but more importantly, the field of study. I'll tell you right now that when I was a postdoc, I was making $40,000 a year. My second year, I got a big raise to $41,000 a year. What? Okay, and then in terms of tenure track faculty jobs, right, $78K. It's how much I was making my first year, right, as an assistant professor. And this is very important to understand that usually, if you are especially not getting grants, you're gonna get 3 raises your entire career. Number 1 is when you end up going from being a postdoc to an assistant professor. Number 2, assistant to associate. Number 3, associate to full. That's it. Okay, now this is the reason why a lot of people end up switching universities, or at least applying to other university jobs, getting an offer, bringing it to the individuals that are actually in your department and saying, hey, listen, department chair, I want to let you know I got this offer. Can you match that salary? If not, I gotta leave, right? That kind of stinks, but it is what it is. It has to be done. Right. Now, I remember going to University of Pennsylvania for the first time in Department of Psychiatry, and somebody telling me they lowballed me. They didn't offer me enough money. It is not competitive. And I said, how much are you making? And I still remember getting told the first time, it's only like $160,000. And I was like, whoa, but this was in a medical school. If you teach in a medical school, law school, business school, your salary is gonna be higher. I'm telling you that right now. Higher the specificity, more money you're gonna make. I'm telling you right now, all right? It's important to note, though, that not all universities follow the same salary structure for their tenure track professors. For example, some universities could offer a higher base, all right, but less benefits. Others, lower base, many more benefits, not just health insurance, but retirement plans, professional development opportunities. They'll pay for you to go to conferences, pay for your CE credits. CE is continuing education, and so forth. In addition, the cost of living in the area where the university is Woo! It can also impact the salary. I've got friends who teach at places like University of San Francisco. Whoa, the amount of money they make is so high, but the cost of living is like double what it is for other colleagues of mine who live in other places in the country here in the United States. All right. Now, for tenure track professors in STEM fields like engineering, mathematics, comp-sci, average salary is also usually higher compared to other fields like psychology, which is my field. And this is because these fields are in high demand and universities are willing to pay more to attract and retain top talent. On the other hand, professors in the humanities, literature, history, philosophy, usually lower salaries. That kind of sucks, but that's the truth. And you guys know me, the reason you subscribe to this channel is because I always tell you the truth. So next, let's talk about these lecturer positions, usually these adjunct positions as we talk about them. Now, these are professors who do not have a tenure track position and they're hired on a contract basis. They often don't have a doctorate, but many times now they do. And even though they may have less teaching and research experience, what I've been seeing is it's a pretty big shift actually recently to individuals who didn't get tenure track positions, are very well qualified, and hence are applying for these adjunct positions. The thing that freaks me out is that 2/3 of adjunct professors who do nothing but adjunct, they don't have any other job, they only adjunct, they're at or below the poverty line, and that really freaks me out, all right? But if you get to a good school, you can make as much as $50,000 to $80,000 a year in terms of your contract, but the exact salary, again, can vary greatly depending on the university and your field of study. It's also worth mentioning that the role and responsibilities of adjuncts can vary greatly between universities. Some are going to expect that you're only going to focus on teaching. Others are also going to expect that you'll participate in administrative work in the department and also research. And I'm going to tell you though that the salary is going to reflect those differences in responsibilities. It's also worth mentioning that there are also differences in salaries between public and private universities, right? So for example, University of Virginia versus Shenandoah University, which is a private university. On average, professors at private universities, they can make more than individuals at public universities like BC versus BU, for example, which is Boston College versus Boston University. And this is because private universities have more resources and can afford to pay their professors more. However, this isn't always the case. Why? Because of grants. Professors who are in research labs that are getting supported here in the US, let's say in psychology, by National Institutes of Health, who are supported by NSF, National Science Foundation, they can be making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, but then you are on the never-ending cycle of the grant wheel, the little hamster wheel you're gonna be running on your whole life, and that can be really, really stressful. And never forget that it's you eat what you kill, as they say, meaning that one year you can make $250,000, another year you could make $50,000. That's stressful, all right? It's especially stressful for your family, I'm gonna be honest with you. It's stressful for them because if you have lifestyle creep and you were making 100K, now you're making 250K, and you're gonna start living a different lifestyle, right? My father always taught me as a husband, right, in a, heterosexual relationship, he always taught me, he's like, it's a lot easier to take your wife from economy class to business class than it is to take your wife from business class to economy class. And I can tell you right now, that's the truth, all right? So, in conclusion, the amount of money that college professors make, it can vary widely depending on all these different factors we've talked about. Type of position, university they're working at, field of study. Tenure track professors usually make more than adjuncts, almost always, to be honest with you, right? Although I have had colleagues, even from Oxford, who make ridiculously little money. I had a colleague who literally got his, doctorate in divinity studies, no joke, $35,000 a year, didn't have enough money to even live, with his family in an apartment, had to literally live in a dorm and be like an RA, resident assistant, whatever they call it. Whoa, that is nuts to me, but it does happen. There's all these complexities of professor salaries. But if you are on the academic job search, make sure you're reading job posts, Publication Academy. We're gonna teach you exactly how to be able to do that, all right? So, love you guys to death. Thank you so much for watching this video. Like the video, subscribe if you like videos like this and you want a lot more. And don't forget to share this video with your friends, colleagues, and students, and links to it on social media. Thank you so much for watching. I will talk with you soon. Peace. Don't forget to get out there and be your best. Thank you so much for stopping by, everyone. It's a pleasure to have you here as always. If you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more in this series on navigating academia, please click on one of these links over here to be able to view more original content. I hope to see you there.